switch it up. Pat,
Welcome to Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc, the wildest mixed tag team in podcasting where the kayfabe drops and the chaos takes over. Let's ring the damn bell.
Headlock tight, heels on the prowl, dropping elbows, you're in ground, feel the foul. No script here, just real, no bluff. Kayfabe crack, now the dirt gets rough. Headlocks, heels, havoc in the zone. Stepping in the ring, chaos at your home. No filters, no mask, just raw bare tone. Wrestling unscripted, we on the throne. Title belts, mic checks, crowd going crazy. Drop truth bombs, leaving lines feeling hazy. Beyond the kayfabe, past the charade, where legends are born and stories get made. Headlocks popping, who's hitting the mat? Welcome to the Havoc where the real talk's at. Tune in, step through, leave the fake at the door. Headlocks, heels, Havoc, now hear the roar.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I am one half of the greatest tag team in podcasting and 1/4 of the greatest faction in podcasting, the legend J-Mac. With me, as always, is my favorite tag team partner and everybody's favorite uncle, Uncle Slam.
what's up, family?
Uncle Slam, I couldn't help but notice, man, you got a little bit, a new piece of attire there with you. Can we start saying we're going to see a little more of the smoker's jacket and everything?
Maybe
and,
so, maybe so. You know, I'm trying to bring it back in style. You know,
There
you
you
never
go.
know.
There you go. I
What's
mean,
old is new now. You know what I'm saying?
that's exactly what you got to do, man. Yeah. How's your week been, man? Everything been cool?
I can't complain. Working, staying busy. You know what I'm saying? Tired, like always.
I mean, that's and don't they call that the American dream?
Sure is.
I think that's what
Only
they
thing
call
gets
it.
me by is a little wrestling here and there. So,
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. You know, little. What do they call it? What Dusty Rhodes call it? Break from reality.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, jumping into it because we got a lot to cover this week. Because I mean, we got some WrestleMania stuff. I mean, we've got WrestleMania to talk about. I mean, I don't even think really, if you want to be honest, any other shows really matter. With everything we got in WrestleMania to cover, that should be enough for a lot. You know, we can always go back and cover some stuff. And, you know, it depends on how late we get. We don't want to keep everybody up too late.
Exactly.
But starting off here, just with some simple stuff. I seen this. I thought that was interesting, man. The Mysterio lady, Jimmy Wang Yang's daughter, and Eddie Guerrero's daughter are all training together. I was like, I think that's pretty cool. Little
It's
feel
nice to
good
see the
story.
women getting involved.
Yes, and I mean
Daughters
it's
and
nice.
stuff like Charlotte Flair, you know, kind of blazed his path, and like Natasha.
Yeah,
So
Natalia.
yeah, I mean Natalia.
Okay, I didn't know if that's who you was talking about. That's
Well, that's what I was trying to say, but I couldn't get the name out right. But and like now we got even more. So hey, you know, third generation or second generation wrestlers, man, they can only be better. I mean, they can only get better.
Well, it's awesome too because, you know, used to it was like the second generation wrestlers were always the men.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't always have to be that way, you know. I mean it is pretty cool. I'm glad to see them, you know. I'm glad to see their passion for it nowadays isn't being ignored
yeah,
anymore. You know what I'm saying? They're being taken as serious as their daddies and stuff. It's not like, oh well, they're the daughter of Eddie Guerrero, or they're the daughter of Jimmy Wang Yang, or, you know, so on and so forth and everything. It's okay, they're the daughter of them, so we expect a little bit more, you know, just like we would a Randy Orton or, you know, anybody else. We expect that pedigree, you know, so we expect you at least trying to come in here and knowing a little something.
yeah.
That's
Have a
nice.
foundation, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you know, maybe know like a little bit of the basic. You know, you ain't got to be a full-fledged wrestler, but you got
No.
to have. You know, I assume you learned a little bit either watching your dad or your parents taught you a little bit or something like that. So you should have a little bit of an edge. Not, you know, not be able to blow everybody out of the water, but you know, a foundation that's going to take you a little bit farther or make it a little bit easier on you than say somebody else who's never had that.
Yes, I 100% agree. I seen this one. Like I said, I'm gonna start off with some lighthearted stuff and everything because I got a lot of stuff here. So I seen this, and it said if you had to pick one guy to be a good face and one guy to be a villain to start your company, who you taking? And who's the
One to
number
be
one guy?
one to be a good guy and then one to be a heel.
Yep. And who you taking first?
If
Just out of this lot.
I'm going heel, probably gonna go Piper just because he's great on the mic. He's always been a good heel. Um, and he's an old school man. Like, he's one of my favorites and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got me into liking wrestling. And I think to me, I think he's probably one of my first heels as far as when it came to wrestling. Um, Babyface, probably. Are we doing Mick Foley as Cactus Jack, or like, can he be Dude Love, or can he be Mick Foley, or who?
It's got to be who's up there.
Who's up there?
So like Ming cannot be Haku.
Okay. That's tough. I might still stick with Cactus Jack or whatever, just because I like. Plus, you're gonna give a hell of a match, like either way and shit. Like, he's gonna put his body on the line. You
So you're
know,
going Piper and Jack?
everything he can. Like, you ain't gonna have to worry about him like going out there and try to put on a good match. He's gonna give blood, sweat, tears, maybe a tooth too.
But you know what would be cool? What would be the coolest part of that whole rivalry?
What?
The promos.
Oh yeah, insane,
Yes.
insane.
So you're
No,
going
what about you?
Piper and you went Piper and Jack, right?
Yep.
All right. If I had to go a 1 and a 2 to carry the company as a heel and a baby, it's hard, man, because as much as I love Piper, I don't think I would pull Piper to carry. That's hard because I know Piper's got WrestleMania 1. He's got the legacy and everything. Oh my gosh, that's hard.
Well, what if I went Piper? Now, what if I went Macho as face and then Piper as heel,
Well,
but
see,
Macho as first?
because I was thinking Stan Hansen as heel. Because I think if people knew a lot more about Stan Hansen, they'd know how bad of a bad guy he really was. He was ruthless. As what's his face on Pineapple Express said, it was ruthless. But I would go Stan as my heel and I would go Macho as my face because of the fact that Macho could pull that following. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm looking at it from a business standpoint.
Or interesting promos.
I mean, Macho kind of had some promos that were like wacko out there, kind of like,
exactly.
Warrior. But at least he could go out in the ring and kind of back up a little bit of what he was saying.
Well, he could wrestle. Like, the Warrior
Yes.
didn't have any real wrestling skills. He had a clothesline and a body slam.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's a tough one because Piper, I feel like the obvious choice for anybody would be Piper Macho.
See, I figured you might say Bruno San Martinez and then maybe.
Well, Bruno's not on there.
Well, like, who's the guy in the middle?
Right,
Bottom.
middle bottom.
Yeah.
Don, the original Rock, Don Morocco.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was Bruno San Martinez.
Yeah, but yeah. See, I don't know. I like I said, I think most people would say the obvious pick would be Macho Piper, but like I would like to see like a more mainstream Stan Hansen, and if somebody could have, I don't know if toned him down a little bit, you know what I'm saying, as far as backstage. Let him be Stan Hansen out there in the, public eye, that ruthless tobacco chewing, spitting,
I hated that shit. That shit was so fucking.
right. That's the exact thing. But then he could go out there and like whoop your ass with that lariat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's the thing
cut the
about
bull
it.
rope and shit.
Yes, yes. You know what I'm saying? That's what made you hate it. He was perfect at antagonizing. Could you imagine him and the Macho Man? Him coming out there and jumping the Macho Man because the Macho Man's wearing a cowboy hat, and he starts telling him he ain't a real cowboy. Bop, bop. Starts beating him with the cowbell, and stuff. You see what I'm saying, man? It writes itself, kind of. I don't know. I just, that's the way I was looking at it. But yeah, hey, tell us what you all think in the comments. We are open. Lines are always open. Go hit the like, share, follow, subscribe, and all that good stuff. We appreciate everybody who's here. Let's see. The next thing we got going here is I wanted to get your take on this. If you had to pick between these two lineups for WrestleMania, which one you taking?
Oh, hold on. I can't.
It didn't want to show up for a second. Can you see that? So night one is TLC 2 from WrestleMania 17.
Uh,
Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 21. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair, WrestleMania 39. Triple H versus Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, WrestleMania 28. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 40.
okay.
Night two is the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, WrestleMania 39. Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, WrestleMania 13. Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks, WrestleMania 37. Hogan Rock, WrestleMania 18. Daniel Bryan, Batista, Randy Orton, WrestleMania 30.
Oh, wow. Man, you don't make it easy, do you? Shit. I would probably have to go night one. Just because the TLC classic, Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, can't really beat that and shit either. Uh, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, I never saw. I know Triple H and Undertaker and Hell in a Cell always was a good one. I don't care as much about the Cody and Roman, um, just to be honest. And night two, I guess the whole I don't give a shit about Bianca Belair or whatever. As far as hers, the Usos don't really care about that either, honestly. Um, the Hogan Rock thing's a big thing. And then what was the last one? The Daniel
Daniel
Bryan,
Bryan,
RK.
Batista, Randy Orton, where Daniel Bryan won his first world
Yeah.
title.
That was emotional, but yeah, night one.
I don't think it was all that emotional, though. See, that's the thing.
Well, it was because he finally got one and shit.
Yeah, but
He struggles to win championships, unfortunately, even in AEW.
I agree. I got to go with night one because I think the overall card is better. Because night two, the only two matches the Bianca Sasha Banks was an okay match. I'm not gonna lie. It was one of the better Sasha Banks matches out there. Hogan Rock, it's classic. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of which, if you haven't watched the Hogan thing on Netflix, I ain't trying to plug it, man, but it's really good. I've watched it. Of course, Hart, Austin, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's about the only three matches I would be even halfway remotely interested in. 2 and 4 being the most.
Yeah.
The overall card of night one, I'm interested in just about all of them.
I think one day we should make like a perfect WrestleMania, like just go through and have like 10 matches and just pick our favorites and what we could construct as the perfect WrestleMania.
I
top
agree.
to bottom. Like pick all our favorite matches.
I definitely agree we should do that. I'm trying to see if we got some I can't tell if we got some comments or not on Facebook. But moving on, I will check more here in just a second. JBL says Finn Balor has the curse of being a great worker. And let me remove that banner. That's the reason why I had it up there at the top. I forgot. And deserves a main event push. What say you?
Do I think he deserves a main event? I mean,
At least one main event push. I mean,
I don't have an issue with that. Like, I mean, I think he's put in his time. I think he's a hell of a wrestler. I don't know if he's a main event, and I don't know if he could carry the company. But I don't see any harm, like when you're giving people like, and I ain't trying to throw shade, Jey Uso and some of
mid
these
card,
other people,
mid card.
title runs. Why not him?
Yuck, 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 yuck. Mid card.
But
Yeah, I
I don't have an
agree.
issue with that. Like I said, I mean, I think especially like if he's going to retire soon, like I don't know how old he is. I'm assuming he's 30, 35, 40-ish, something like that.
I'm not 100% sure how old Finn is. I don't want to even start to guess, to be honest with you. See,
but I think the Judgment Day has ran its course, obviously. So why not, man? Like, give him a push.
Yes.
Because if not, he's just going to go someplace else. He's going to go back to Japan. He's going to go to fucking AEW, and he'll be a star there. I mean, he'll be a world champion there.
Yep. That's exactly what will happen. And that's sad, too, because you shouldn't have to leave a great company to be a world champion. But we're going to get into some of that later on of why that's going on. And now we know 100%
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
We already, yeah. And we had said it before. But like now we just got confirmation on it.
So starting to lean in that way and get a little bit more serious with our conversations here. So breaking news, Nashville tourism groups and Tennessee Titans announced that WrestleMania 43 was originally scheduled to take place at the new Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee in 2027. The new stadium is set to open in February 2027. However, the plan changed according to Andrew so-and-so, I can't, Bandala. The reason given is that the date didn't work out, quote unquote. Nashville officials say they are now looking for future years to host the WrestleMania. So we may be getting a WrestleMania close to home, man. WWE has instead chosen, hey, man, I'd be willing to go to some of the indie matches outside WrestleMania like we was talking about.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Find out who in the hell is going to be showing up and everything and just make a little tour for the weekend. Friday hit one, Saturday hit another one, Sunday hit one, and then head on home or something. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Saudi Arabia to host WrestleMania 43 in 2027, marketing first time. So WrestleMania 43 was originally scheduled to take place at the new Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. Do you believe that story, or do you believe that that's a story that's being put out there to cover for the fact that whenever there's no place to nothing else to do because of certain actions that are going on overseas, that things will be canceled over there? So they're going ahead and giving us where it's going to happen. Dropping hints so that
I
way
don't know if it's, I don't know if I believe it, but it is believable.
So well, I'm saying, does Nashville seem likely for WrestleMania?
I don't see why not. I mean, Nashville's is a decent sized city. I mean, they host a bunch of other events.
Do you think it's blown up that much? I mean, honestly,
they got a hockey team, a football team. They got tons of stars as far as country music and stuff. They got a big nightlife scene. They just built a new stadium, like you were saying.
Would you bring WrestleMania to Cincinnati?
Mm, see, to me, Cincinnati's different because it's. And the reason I say this is because I was there not too long ago. Traffic's just fucking terrible, and they're always doing fucking construction. Like trying to get around and navigate, I think would just be a nightmare. Like I don't think it's planned out as nice as say some of these other cities, like maybe Vegas, LA, or maybe even Nashville. Uh, I know they also have a lot of old infrastructure. I know they, you know what I'm saying? Like no offense, it's not the brightest, it's not the nicest looking city. I'm
Well,
pretty sure they do have
Cincinnati,
their moments and stuff. I mean, like I'm not trying to bash them, like 'cause I do like Cincinnati. Um,
yeah, Cincinnati's very old. It's old steel towns
yeah.
and stuff and everything, like railroad towns and stuff.
But if they were going to put one in, say, like Ohio, I would say Cleveland would be a better shot. You know what I'm
See,
saying?
that's yeah, and that's my point. I would say you would go somewhere a little bigger. I don't see WrestleMania being a Nashville place. I just think that it sounds to me like they're pre-planning instead of making it look like they're scrambling. They just have a destination, you know. Because if
But
they just
okay, so like,
scramble,
where are most of the pay per views on? Obviously, I'm not pay per views, but most of the WrestleManias are what? L.A., Vegas,
LA,
New New
Vegas,
York,
New York, Boston,
uh,
Miami,
Miami, of course. Someplace
uh,
warm, usually.
warm, down in Texas, Texas
Uh, yeah,
Stadium,
or like someplace with a big.
Toronto.
Yeah, yeah. So probably like bigger cities. I would say
Right.
Nashville is not a huge city.
Nashville is Royal Rumble to me.
Or Rumble. See, but it would
SummerSlam.
work out so much beautiful for us. Like I don't know about
Right,
everybody else, but
right.
that would.
I'm just saying.
I mean, because nothing's ever coming to Kentucky, so I mean that's the closest we gonna get.
I'm just saying. I don't know. It seems really like we're gonna cover real quick. I don't know. We will wait and see and keep our eyes peeled if we see anything. There's more shenanigans to talk about with TKO and WWE and stuff. All right. Yeah, check this out. So, look who was at WrestleMania.
Oh, okay.
Teddy DiBiase Jr.
Yep, yep. No
Yeah, we
handcuffs.
got yeah, we got McAfee Mania.
Oh God.
So my thing is if he was there and we already knew that McAfee Mania was a mess up, why didn't somebody pull him to the side and say, "Hey, $100,000 right now on the spot to run in"?
Well, I mean that's easy. Probably because who's calling creative, which we'll touch on later. But
Right.
I mean that probably answered your question right there. Who's in
Right.
control of creative?
So
Oh,
see, I'm okay. We'll get into that here in a
yep,
minute. See, it's
exactly.
just see. I love the way I set this up and everything. It's all right.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. All right, I told you, man. There's a whole lot of stuff. This is crazy. It's crazy, man. All right, so to give him a little bit of his flowers and everything, Mr. Powerhouse Hobbs, now known as Royce Keys, is the winner of the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Does it disappoint you that they don't feature? Would this have made WrestleMania a little bit better if they'd have done this and I'd have got to see this? I'd have
Ah,
rather
yeah.
seen this for 10 minutes than to seen the 25 minutes of commercials.
Well, yeah. I mean, either this or a commercial. Of course, I'm gonna take this, but it was all right. Like it wasn't that great. Shit. Like I said, I'm not trying to knock it, and I know they're trying to give Royce Keys a push or whatever. You know, they want him to be back.
No. But I'm saying planned out better and this actually put on to the main show. Do you think that this would have been better? You know what I'm saying?
Is it
And something
better than
it
having
would
commercials, or are you
no.
saying would it have made the show better, including the commercials?
Planned out with better with not even better storyline telling. It's a battle royal, 20 people, but planned out with good participants. You know what I'm saying? And good drama. A good 10, 15-minute battle royal. You know what I'm
If they
saying?
had redone it, but not the way they had it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I'm saying if they had given good effort, because they didn't give no effort to it because it was on. But again, but again,
Yep.
but again, aha,
Because there was a lot
aha.
of NXT people, there was a lot of AAA people. Like I don't know Psycho the Clown. I mean, shit, who the hell is
Yep.
this? Some guy who wears the clown mask and then he pulls his face
And
off.
that's the thing, man. They don't feature enough AAA stuff. They got to get some kind of a AAA deal up here. I don't know if they don't have one. I just don't. If they've got one, I don't know about it. If they do, please, people, comment, like, share, subscribe, and let us know. Let's talk about it in the comments. Yeah, but I mean, it just, it kills me, man. Getting back to this, like I said, it's gonna finally unfold all this stuff. Okay, so what do you think about this? AEW Plus pulled from Thriller TV as service announces major streaming changes.
Like pull like taking off the air where it's not coming back, or just
I
are we talking
guess
about
it's been
temporary
pulled
or
off,
permanent?
pulled from Thriller TV. It's not on the Thriller TV app anymore. I don't know if that's a sign of good things or bad things. I'm not throwing shade. I'm saying, is AEW starting to lose TV deals down the road and everything? Speaking of TV deals, before you give your opinion on that, do you have? I don't want to give a free plug, but the TV service that starts with an R, and the TV service that rhymes with the great Tongan wrestler Haku.
Do I have one?
No, well, do you have any access to that channel?
I think so.
If you do, they
I don't
have.
use mine, but I'm pretty sure I have one.
You should use it even for just what I found. One, they've got NWA, and plus NWA got another TV deal somewhere. I'm sorry, I don't remember where, but you can Google it. Their new TNA deal too. But NWA is on that channel that rhymes with Haku, and is purple like him too. I
Oh,
rhyme.
okay.
Yeah. And so NWA is on there, and they have a whole channel dedicated to the one that Dolph Ziggler now wrestles in, TNA.
Yeah.
They have a whole channel to TNA, and they've got NWA on there. So that's two. I mean, the TNA stuff is old stuff, but it's old pay-per-views, the old Sting and AJ Styles stuff and everything, Main Event Mafia and stuff. So you can finally catch up on that stuff and figure out, the stories and how it went
Okay.
down now. So yeah, check it out, man. I'm plugging it, man. Check out your old wrestling, man. It makes it better that you know your history.
Yep.
Doesn't mean that you got to like it better. Just, I don't necessarily like Bruno Sammartino and, superstar Billy Graham and all them better than I do Hulk and Sean and all them. But I respect them for what they did. They helped pave the way.
Exactly.
All right. Let's see. They are coming. Okay, usually sometime shortly after WrestleMania. Yep, here's where I've got pulled up. WWE starts releasing talent. While they have made profits off that mostly abandonment of a weekend attendance for two big shows, the tapings and the Hall of Fame were down. Like I said, man, it was terrible. It was a terrible weekend, meaning that though they make a lot of money, there was a lot, capital A, capital lot, more money than they didn't make. With that being said, while I hope I am wrong here, FKR, the sake of those that will be out of a job, I expect the list of release to be larger than usual as TKO will look to recover some of the money they did make over the weekend. And that list may very well include people you would not think would be in danger of losing their job. Who do you think may be on the chopping block? Okay,
Uh,
before we get into the list, give me a couple of names you think would possibly be on the list.
people that I want to either people that I want to see gone or I
No, no,
think
no,
will be
not
gone.
necessarily people you want to see gone, just people you think will be gone. Just give me a couple people.
Let's see, people that probably not doing shit with. Obviously the Wyatts. Can't say MFT just because they're trying to give a push to a couple of them. Um, I think who else are they? I would say like Aleister Black because I don't feel like they do shit with him.
Yeah, man, it's like they brought him back just to sit him on sidelines. Or
Yeah,
it's
I
not even
would
really on the
say
sidelines. It's just like, I don't know.
I don't think they're gonna cut LA Knight. They don't want him to be a bigger star someplace else than where he is.
Because he will.
Yeah. Um,
You cut LA Knight right now, and LA Knight goes over to AEW, and he wins in AEW. AEW becomes legit real quick. Yeah. I mean, that's just the
um,
truth, man. LA Knight by himself could pull. Let me ask you this since you brought that up. Do you think if they released LA Knight, that LA Knight going to AEW could have a stone cold effect for AEW?
like what do I mean? A Stone Cold effect.
Like, just come, not that LA Knight has come out of nowhere,
Uh-huh.
but he could blow AEW up because
Okay.
AEW is
Okay.
going to give him the opportunity because he's Stone Cold didn't really come out of nowhere, but he did at the same time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like everybody knew that Steve Austin himself was a good wrestler. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, everybody also knew that nobody was doing anything with Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Steve Austin couldn't perform, it was just that nothing was sticking. He had already changed too much from being the stunning guy, and he had killed that crap with the what's it called, the ringmaster stuff. So he had no other choice than just to go all out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think a move like that, I think could have a stone cold effect on them. What do you think?
Mm, I think he'll definitely be a star. Like to go someplace else. I would rather see him be a star in WWE. We've talked about this a million times. I don't know what politics is going on because to me, that's the only thing it could be would be politics behind the scenes because it's not the fans, it's not anything else that I see. Now, like I said, there's a lot that I don't know that goes on, behind the scenes. But if you let him go, then yes, he's gonna make you pay for it. Whether he goes to TNA or AEW, um, yeah, like you're gonna pay for it. Like I said, because he's really good on the mic, and the fans really do love him. I don't think that'd be a good idea by WWE. If, like if anything, like I said, like if you don't want to see him go to AEW or TNA, then just I hate to say it, kind of buy a silence and shit. Be like, hey, we'll give you a contract, and you can sit there and get your check, and
Right.
you know,
But it just
like,
sucks, man.
but
That
but
sucks so
they're just
bad.
shit.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Um, well, have you seen the list of people? This is the list that I've seen so far. I don't know if it's been updated in any way, shape, or form. If it has, it's beyond me. I don't know. Um, they released, I think it was the entire Wyatt Six.
No surprise.
So that's Nikki Cross, Joe Gacy, Bo Dallas, aka Uncle Howdy, and what's his name? Eric Rowan. Yeah, I'm trying to find an updated excuse me, my throat. Oh, they released Aleister Black too.
Oh, I called it.
Yep. So I mean, by the next time we come on, we'll have a lot of releases to talk about. But yeah, I mean, again, this is going to lead into a little bit of later on conversation. You know, it's just going to be the way it is. That's crazy.
A Motor City Machine Gun.
We knew it was coming. Like we said, we knew it was coming. It's after WrestleMania. All righty, we'll get on with it then. So, yeah, oh yeah. So, I mean, did anybody notice? I'm sorry, I forgot to get who quoted this and everything, but WrestleMania was only 53 minutes of wrestling.
Not surprised. Not
I
surprised
mean,
one bit. I mean, like, look at Raw and SmackDown. If you pay attention to it, there's only usually about what 4 or 5 matches, and matches don't take no fucking 30 minutes. They're probably 10, 15. So more than half of it is promos, commercials, and bullshit. So why
I'm
would the
going to
pay per
fact
view?
check this. Go ahead and keep talking. I'm going to fact
But
check this just to be sure.
so like, why would the pay per views be any different than Raw or SmackDown?
Yep. And I
So
agree, but we'll see right here. So, I mean, if it was 53 minutes, I'm wondering if that's one night or 2 nights.
even if it's one night, it's still
Uh,
shitty as fuck
right.
because we're watching it for what 3 hours
Yep. Well, I
plus
think it was like
commercial.
4 hours.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a ripoff right there.
Was night 1 and 2 of WrestleMania 2026. We'll see what it says right here, man. This is just, it's crazy to think, man, that they would do this. See. Wow. So I'm not going to read the entire thing that it put on here. This is crazy. Night 1, 4 hours total, was 53 minutes of wrestling.
What about the second night?
Second night was between 50 and 60 minutes of wrestling.
Yeah.
That's,
I remember right before the main event, they wasted 30 minutes of fucking time on just the fucking entrances and backstory bullshit.
it's crazy, man. Like, how do they?
It's called shrinkflation.
Yeah, it's
They shrunk the product, but they charge the same price. They charge you more for it.
that's exactly what it is. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know. I just don't know. It makes okay. We got some comments coming in. Let me get to them. Keita said she is here. She said, and the boys, thank you all. Thank you for the love. Yes, we love you all. Thank you for always being here and supporting us. We appreciate it wholeheartedly. We promise we do. But yes, you'll have to. Hey, and we just found out too last show that EWA is doing a brand split. So that's going to be exciting as hell. So you don't want to do Raw and SmackDown. You come and do EWA's 2 shows. We'll talk about that a little bit later. That's going to be pretty dead. She said, of course. Thank you, darling. All right. Here we go. What are we doing? We're going back to the media. All right. Yeah, 53 minutes. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. But we're going to get into that too. Okay, John Cena announces a sudden WWE return for Backlash 2026. There's a quote to go with this. I know. However, Cena claims that he has promised the WWE team something special, something epic. The wrestler turned actor will be back at Backlash Tampa. Man, and this is a quote, man, if it were 2023 again, I might have a different business at WWE hashtag Backlash. Alas, the years pass. I'm still going to try to do something epic in Tampa for 5-9. I promised Club WWE something special. Stay tuned. Read Cena's post on X. I mean, again, is this a product of what we're going to be talking about?
I feel like it's more TKO bullshit.
Okay, we'll get into that then. See, it's just more to add to it. Alrighty, here we. Okay, yeah. Here's some Ric Flair news. Okay, so Ric Flair, he says I didn't like her match at all at WrestleMania, and I think Ashley, aka Charlotte, needs to be a singles wrestler. And I know she enjoys her relationship with Alexa, but if Ashley is not in the title picture right now, in my life, and as a spectator, without her in the main event in a singles match, the match she had with Rhea Ripley 2 years ago, they have never had a match like that ever in the history of women's wrestling. And Rhea's getting gold as well. I'm putting them both over Ric Flair. Do you agree with his assessment that Charlotte needs to be like out of the tag team picture and into the like more of the main event picture? And in saying that, let me ask you this question.
Mhm.
Is it the fact that enough attention has been given to the tag team titles to make them legit enough that we can get some of these people back up to the main event level, like Becky Lynch?
Yeah.
Does the Intercontinental have enough prestige now to where she can come on back up to the world title status? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's a couple questions here that you kind of asked.
Right. So take your time with both.
I'm gonna go with the first one. Or not. Well, the second one. You talk about does it bring prestige now that they've had it? I don't think, as far as the Intercontinental with the women, I don't think it has yet because I just don't think it's been around enough with the
That sounded
years.
really good when you got close to that mic. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Oh no, you're fine. It's only been what, like a year, maybe a year and a half since the belt's been around. So I think it kind of takes time for all that shit to develop because you have to have really good matches to kind of, I think to make it mean more or like make it more like significant and shit.
Right.
Tag team, I think division has been heating up a lot lately. Um, I I definitely see them trying to do it with the Intercontinental. Um, but I think it's going to take a little more work on it. And on the first question, I think when it comes to Charlotte being a singles in the title hunt instead of being tag team, I think that's two things. I think that's really up to her decision. It's her career. I mean, she's already
Right.
got 14 fucking championships, so it's like, is another one really going to make anything better? Like, is it going to change the story? Like, is it going to make us love or hate her more? And you also got to look at it from that's her dad. Now, also, and I'm going to play both sides because in one instance, he's her father, so of course he wants the best for her and stuff, and he probably thinks that she deserves, just like he is, to be in the championship hunt all the time. But at the same time, he's her father, so he's a little biased. He's always going to put his kid over somebody else or believe that, that they need to be number one or in the number one spot. So, it's kind of hard to, you know, take everything he says to heart because I think there's a little grain of salt in some of that because he is so close to her. And he feels like she just needs to be, like, I don't know if that's just part of being a player or what, like you need to be in the championship, spot. He's got 16, 17, she's got 14, so it's like it runs in the family. Um, I kind of like her better in singles than I do as tag team. I don't hold it against her because I think if she wants to get some, tag team go for it. Like if you want to be a Triple Crown winner, I don't have an issue with that shit. Um, but if she's going to go to the singles, I think they need to bring up some new talent. I, I, I don't want to see the same old people again. Like I don't want to see Rhea. I don't want to see Jake Cargill. Like because that's already been done to death.
Yeah.
Like bring up some of these people from NXT. I know they brought up Toruka. I don't know if they brought up her partner or whatever, but you you have this wealth of talent that you can use to not only make the stories better, but help these people get over. Take your young talent with the old talent and let them teach and let them get over and, make a good product together. But like when you pigeonhole your young people, it's kind of like what they did with WCW, man. They didn't let the young stars shine. And then eventually the old people are old and they leave and you're stuck with a stale product and nobody wants to go to a stale product or watch a stale product.
Yep. So, Keita, are you saying no way that Charlotte should stay in the tag team division or no way Charlotte should be in the singles division? Let us know in the comments, please, my dear.
Do
But
you think
yeah,
she should be in the singles or like you think she's better as a tag team?
I think Charlotte has done enough to earn the opportunity to do whatever she wants to do.
I agree.
And I think once you do stuff like that, because Charlotte is one, and as much as people hate the way that that people say this, truly the four horsewomen, and whether you like her or hate her, Sasha Banks, Bailey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair are the ones who started that woman's revolution out of NXT.
True.
And they started this, they came out and made every other woman have to step up their game.
Yeah,
You
they
know what
changed
I'm
the
saying?
vision. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I mean, because women's wrestling right now, I tell people, I would almost rather watch some of the women's matches than I would the men's matches.
Yeah.
And then
Easily.
that's that's nothing bad saying that because of the fact that it's just they did, again, we've touched on this many times. They just didn't train the women the way they should have years ago. It wasn't, they were side pieces and it just
They were eye candy pretty much.
yes, that was it, and it just wasn't real wrestling and everything. It was popcorn match. But
Yeah. I mean, wrestling was what nightgown matches and fucking like evening gown matches, like shit like that. I'm basically gonna rip your clothes off.
yeah, it's 10 times better now. We love it. She said, no way that John is coming back. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the rumor. I mean, I don't know if he's necessarily coming back to be a wrestler or what am I trying to say? Not a wrestler. Oh yeah, a wrestler. I don't know if he's probably going to come back and interfere in some way. I don't know, what way he's going to interfere, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? It's something we don't want to see. I know it. She said, let's see. She said she thinks Charlotte's amazing either way. I do too. I mean, I think she's earned the right to do whatever. But I got off there for a second. But to get back to the point, I think she's earned the right to do what she wants to. But I think that the world title picture is always better when a Flair is involved, especially a Flair in their prime.
Yeah.
Aside from David Flair, no offense.
Now, do you think she's past her prime, or do you think I'm not saying she's washed up, but do you think that one, she's gonna get any more championships, or
I
do you think that now they're just gonna kind of use her to help get other people over?
I think that realistically, Charlotte could have probably. I think what's hesitation with Charlotte is her knees and stuff. She's had a lot of knee issues. Plus, she's reaching like 40 years old and everything. And,
Yeah,
you start rethinking things and everything. But, uh, Charlotte is hands down probably. This is tough to say, but Charlotte Flair is my favorite Flair.
ooh, that's saying a lot there, son. Are you sure you want to make that statement?
I do. As innovative as her daddy was, and everything he was, and I love Ric Flair. I love Ric Flair. Probably I would argue him and Shawn Michaels as the greatest evil villain, butthead heel of all time till the cows come home. And I'm sure there's others you could throw up against it. I'm not arguing that. But those would be two that I would argue to the hills. So it's like that's a hard question. But as much as he did, I would argue that Charlotte was more athletic, probably better on the mic, and just overall a better wrestler.
I don't know if I'd go that far because
When did you ever see her do a moonsault?
That is true.
Charlotte
But he
did
didn't
one
have
every
to do a
match.
moonsault, and there
No.
wasn't a ton of guys back then that did moonsaults.
He didn't have to, but there
Yeah.
wasn't a ton of girls that were doing moonsaults off the top rope and onto the floor.
Oh yeah, true.
So you see what I'm saying? Charlotte did a lot of innovative things. Plus, to be a taller girl like she is, I'm sorry, I don't mean to call you a girl, Miss Flair, Miss Ashley, lady, woman, respectfully. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I honestly and truthfully, I personally think she is over it. Would I pick her as my favorite as far as like personal favorite? No. I love Ric Flair. Would I honestly, and being unbiased, say that she was a better Flair? Yes.
Yeah, I'd have to disagree because as much as you know, she's got the accolades, but Rick is pop culture. Like
He is.
he's like Hogan was, not as big, but like he's pop culture now. You got songs about him. They got fucking weed named after him and shit.
Ain't that crazy?
Like people that don't even know wrestling know Ric Flair because of the shit he says. You know what I'm saying? So to me, his impact and his meaning is just so much larger than life. Like a prime example is Obafemi said he based his walk kind of off Ric Flair's strut. Like if you look at it and you look at Ric Flair's, like you can see a little bit of like similarity. Like
But
that's how much impact Rick has and shit. And I just and I don't want to take anything away from Charlotte Flair because as far as women's division, I think she's done almost as much as he did, and maybe a little bit more in ring. But if you're talking about as far as the culture impact and meaning and stuff, Rick is it and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not as big as a Hogan, but people know Ric Flair before they know anything. All you got to do is talk about uh, jet flying, Rolex watching,
Kiss
wearing,
stealing, wheeling, dealing.
yeah, like you see
Son of a
football
gun.
players say that shit.
Woo.
You see fucking basketball like rappers saying that shit. Like people quote Ric Flair like scripture sometimes and shit.
Okay, so
So
let me ask you this though.
mhm,
Now, erase all the pop culture stuff
mhm,
and let's just look at in-ring ability.
yeah,
Is Charlotte Flair better than Ric Flair athletically and able to put on a better match than Ric Flair could?
no. I think she's good at what she does, and yes, she can do a moonsault, and
Okay.
Rick can't. But if you're talking about a better worker, a better storyteller, I think Rick's it. Like I
Guys,
mean, like I'm not trying to downgrade
the-
her and say that what she does is not great because she is a great wrestler and she's automatically a Hall of Famer. But I think Rick, not just his longevity in the ring, like comes with that is the ability to tell a story, and he lived his character. Like he never left the character. He is the character. Like like he became that character. And so to me, it's just like whether it's telling a story in the ring, wrestling or whatever. I think Rick is like he's just his longevity, his ability, his knowledge alone and shit. And I think that's what makes Charlotte so great because she was able to tap into that wealth of knowledge from her father. You know what I'm saying? Like she had you got one of the best minds in wrestling at your
right.
disposal to be able to
I'm
tap
just
into and be
saying,
like,
like, as far as in-ring
in
ability,
ring ability, I still think Flair is a better
really.
storyteller. I think he's a better wrestler.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't like I said,
I
I'm
mean,
not
like
trying to
I
take
said,
away.
that's completely
Yeah,
arguable. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I see there's
Now,
no, I can't disagree
yeah,
with you, and I'm not necessarily agreeing with you. You know what
mhm,
I'm saying? I'm saying
yeah,
that's so subjective because you know what I'm saying everything in
yeah.
wrestling is so
But like I
subjective.
said,
I
I
see where
like
you're coming from.
yeah, like I'll always give her flowers. Like I said, you don't become a 14-time world champ by accident. Like that
Let
shit
me
just
ask you
doesn't happen.
this: if by the time she ends, she's 21, 22, will you say it?
Like I said before, I have to wait and see once it's all said and done, and then
Quality
I'll
of reigns and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, because anything can happen. Injuries also play a part. Unfortunately, politics play a part in some of the shit.
Oh, yeah.
And if she goes to like what if she doesn't retire after WWE and goes to TNA or AEW and shit and win
I don't
more
think she
titles and
would.
shit.
I don't
So
really, I think once she's done, she's done. I think she's going to be
you
one
don't
that's
think she'll go
done.
to another organization? You think she'll
No.
just stay where she's at?
I think once she's
Possibility.
going to, I think once she's done, she's done. She's going to be, excuse me, she's going to be one of the ones that's smart enough to just back away. I believe.
I
Excuse
mean,
me,
like, 'cause
everybody.
she's got money, she's got investments. I don't think
Right.
she has to do with um, Monique Nays or Sasha Banks had to do to get the same reputation and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't think she's gonna have to. Well, she left on her own, and I think she would have been just as great as Charlotte back
And
in the day.
no
Like,
hate to her because
yeah,
she has made her way. She has
she
made
bet
her
on herself,
money.
and I think she won. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
she
I
might not
do
have made as
too.
much money as she would with WWE, but I think she got to control her career. I think she got to do what she want, and I think she still got paid pretty damn decent.
That's it. I
So
mean,
I
isn't that
mean,
what you want to do?
yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's crazy, man. What a concept. All right. So moving on a little bit, we're still on Ric Flair though. Okay, so Ric Flair got banned from WrestleMania this year for threatening Ludwig Kaiser. He
I heard
went
about
like a
that.
he went like a little bitch and told Hunter.
Yep,
So
yep.
apparently some incident happened and Ric
Well,
Flair
it
and
goes
Ludwig
back to the
Kaiser.
promo between Tiffany and
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair, and
Yeah.
when she was talking about her boyfriend. So that
being in his
brought up some of it or
DMs and
whatever.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So like he threatened Ludwig Kaiser some way, somehow. I didn't get all the story. I
he called him up
apologize.
and shit. I think.
Okay. I didn't know if he called him or if he texted
Yeah,
him.
I'm pretty sure he called him up and talked to him and was just like, "Hey, I'll beat your fucking ass," pretty
I
much.
know it, man. And that Hunter was like, because I read a story after, and he was like, man, he was like, he said, if I'm telling the truth, he said, I love Hunter. He said, but my Hunter relationship has changed. And look, and I'm not trying to do a big portion, a big, segment on Ric Flair and the Flairs and stuff, but the truth is the truth. Rick, I love you. I am not even joking. This is a plea for me, and I'm nobody. I'm just a little nobody in Kentucky. But I love you. I think you're one of the greatest heavyweight champions of all time. But you got to stop. It's time to slow down. Have
Right?
what fun you can have that's left. Stop trying to fight the world.
How you gonna tell a father not to take up for his daughter?
No. I'm not saying that.
But that's what it's all about. I mean, that's what
Right,
it comes down
right.
to. It's like
But
he's taking up for his kid over
right,
something
but
her
I'm just saying,
boyfriend
like,
said or did and shit. So,
I'm just
like, I
saying, like,
can't really hate him for that. Now, the way he
no.
went about it was probably kind of stupid. Threatening to beat somebody's ass is probably not the
My
best way
thing
to do it.
is it's just another story on top of like last week when he was talking about Rick, the WWE's trying to destroy his legacy, and he played. Did you see all that and everything?
I heard about it, but I
Yeah,
didn't
I mean, it's just that and then being drunk all the time again and everything. It's like, I get it, man. You're Ric Flair. We all get it. But we don't want to see an 80-year-old Ric Flair drunk in the bars all the time. You know
but
what I mean?
but
We,
unfortunately, like that's like I don't want to say that's always who he's been, but we all know like he's always had an issue with drinking. That's why he had to get a liver transplant.
I know.
I mean,
It's just,
like
I
you
hate.
know how much he used to drink. I mean, like it wasn't human.
That was
Like
his liver.
yeah,
Nobody else's liver can handle that. I don't know, man.
and the doc didn't even
It's
believe it
sad.
and shit. So like, yes, I definitely worry about that. Now, like if he's doing this shit while he's still drinking, then I am definitely worried about Rick. But if
Yeah, I
he's
mean,
saying this
he
as
is.
he's sober and he's just being a protective father, I don't have an issue with that. But if he's
Well, even if
three
he's
sheets in the
drunk,
wind talking shit, then yeah, that's a
even if
problem.
he's drunk being a protective father, I get that. You know what I'm saying? In any situation, if you're being a protective father and you've got a legitimate reason to be a protective father, I'm going to back you 100%.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I would also advise you, let's wait till you're sober to say what you got to say.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That would be my advice to you. But
but
other
normally
than
it never comes out that way. Normally,
right.
drunk people want to talk.
And that's what I meant. You know what I'm saying? It's just another string of things that's gone on here recently with Ric Flair. And I love him, but I think that his actions over the last few years are just starting to tarnish his career. You know what I mean?
Definitely do. Definitely
So,
do.
all right, keeping on this, Ric Flair says that Tony Khan buying WWE is very possible. What do you think about that? As much as we've talked about that, and as much as JD from shout out Mayhem Media, as much as he's digging into it and stuff and everything, he is thinking that WWE is soon going to be splintered up and sold off by TKO. So if that happens, what do you think the possibility of? We have the theory that, like, I think we kind of agreed that Vince will probably try to get it back with
Mhm.
the, Saudi help and everything. That's what route we think he's going to take. But it's not without the realm of possibility because I
No, I
mean
mean, 'cause he's got
he's
money and stuff,
Khan's got money.
and I've read this article too, so like I definitely know what you're talking about. Rick was talking about how Tony's a good guy and this and that and blah blah blah. it's possible. I mean, like anything's possible. So I can't say that it's not going to happen. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Do I think TKO is really going to sell off the WWE? Yes.
Yeah. I
Is
don't think
Vince
they're
going
gonna
to
have a
buy it?
choice.
If the chance comes up, I do think Vince is probably the first person in line to buy it. But I also think that there's other people, maybe hedge funds or whatever, that like look at it as a good investment. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, because you got a lot of loyal fans that's been there for years. You got a lot of families and stuff that pay a huge amount of money to come. Now they would have to change some shit to kind of bring people back. Obviously, give creative back to the actual people who know fucking creative, not fucking a damn fucking what a fucking. I, I was about to say politician, but I meant a fucking corporate fucking zombie and shit. Some
Yeah.
fucking office worker that doesn't know what a worker or getting over it or a jobber or any of that shit. Like people that just say, "Well, this looks like a good idea. Let's do this. Let's bring John Cena." See,
There's a celebrity.
that makes me think, especially when we talk about TKO and shit, that they do have their hand in shit because why the fuck are we bringing John Cena back? Why?
Okay. Oh, we're gonna get into that. Trust me. Trust me. Trust
See,
me.
all this shit ties right back to that one whole
Dude,
point.
I'm
It's just like
telling you, this one point is getting ready to be
this one
blown
point
out.
ties into so much shit that we're talking about. It's
Yes.
like it's got its tentacles and everything. Like a
Yes,
fucking.
I have set these up so perfect to where we could end on a good note, and we could end on, we could talk about, something sad that kind of happened, end on a good note, but we're going to talk about some shit here in just a second. So I know what you're getting at, trust me. So before we get into that, I wanted to see what you thought about this, about what I think I kind of predicted this. I
I
didn't
think we
think it was
both
going to
did.
happen this soon,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
he
I didn't
is
think it'd be this
going.
soon, but I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, I thought it was going to happen like maybe around, SummerSlam. They build Jacob up a little bit over the summer, and then boom, boom, boom. He'll attack, and whatever. But what did you think about this promo? How did you think he did?
I think he did fine. Like I said, I think he kind of spoke from the heart. You know what I'm saying? When it comes from it, you know what I'm saying? Because some of the best promos are, it's got a little bit of truth to it. And
He
I think
said,
what he said was like, "Hey, I want what you got. I want, nice shit. Like I want to, have the fat contract. I want to be able to buy my family the same shit that you got. Don't
even
see
if
nothing
I
wrong with
got to
that.
take it from you.
Yeah, and that's normal. I mean, that's wrestling. Like everybody wants to be number one, and the only way
So,
to do it is you got to beat somebody's ass to take it. Nobody's going to give it to you.
who was we just talking about?
Yeah.
There's people don't understand that. Like there is a reason why um Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes were the champion for so long in the NWA, as opposed to why Hulk Hogan was champion so long in the WWE. Now, it was the same reason, but it was for different reasons.
Mhm.
NWA kept coming up short with like accidents and stuff. Kerry Von Erich, David Von Erich. You know what I'm saying? Then you had because David could have battled Flair for a good while. Magnum TA. You know what I'm saying? There was just so many accidents right there in that time frame for them. Hogan's and the WWE was they just didn't build anybody that could beat Hogan, that was equal to Hogan. And then when they tried to build that person, it was way wacko and weird, and people finally started not buying the power of the warrior anymore. And it just, it went all left field and everything from there to where they had to keep putting it back on Hogan until I think finally with that, Vince just saw the light and was like, no, we got to get the belt off Hogan. Yoko's going to beat him. Brett's going to come back and get his title back, and we're going to have to move on with the new generation. You know what I'm saying? I think he kind of seen it that way. Because that's whenever Hogan left again and everything. But I mean, getting back to the point, I just think that I don't know, man. I like the way that he's building it. I like the way Jacob's coming out, and like I just thought it was going to be a little bit more of a build to it. It just I don't know. I want to see Jacob.
I think he'll be all right. Like I said,
Yeah,
like I said, because he's at like they ain't been here that long, and it's already put him in the title hunt. He's already over with the fans. He's got high energy. I mean,
I
it's
don't
moved.
want to see him be an accident. Is what I think I'm trying to say by doing it too quick. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I don't want him to. I don't want to see him be an ultimate warrior, but I also don't want to see him end up like a Magnum. Not that he's going to get in a car wreck or anything like that. Not that I wish that, but just any kind of weird bull crap that just derails it. You know what I'm saying? Because of just an accident. I don't want to
I'm,
see him mess it up because he just can't do it like the Warrior. But I don't want to see something in ring happen too, to where I worry about it because I really like Jacob Fatu, and I think Jacob Fatu could be a good 5-6 time world champion. What say you? Or are you set out?
no, like I said, I've always believed in Jacob Fatu ever since I first saw him, and I predicted this like when I told you he would have to be in the title picture. I thought it would be a little bit later on. Um, Obviously, I feel like the bloodline storyline kind of fucking just, they've drove that uh, uh, they've drove that into the ground, and I don't want to see it again. So anything that can make it fresh or different, or I like you ain't got to take the belt off Roman's waist and stuff, but just get rid of fucking Jaden and like don't try to do the whole bloodline shit again. Like and I don't want to exactly see him as the tribal chief. Like and he said he don't want to be the tribal chief. He just wants the money and the fame, and really just the money. So I'm okay with that and shit. Like I said, but just don't kill us with the same bullshit over and over and shit. Like you got a young guy with a lot of talent. Don't fuck it up. It's
So,
basically what
oh,
I'm saying.
so quick take. If WWE, because you said that you kind of want the bloodline stuff to kind of fade away and stuff a little bit, quick take. If they get the chance to get their hands on Zilla Fatu, should they take it? And should he be a part of maybe destroying it? Or should he be a part of like just helping break it down enough to where it's not even relevant really anymore?
Well, I think eventually, it's got to go away, and I can see anyway where the MFTs are getting ready to split up. Like if you've been watching Raw the last couple weeks, or maybe with SmackDown, like you can tell there's like division going on. So I don't see them staying together too much longer and shit. Like a split's definitely coming. Um, as far as them putting him in there, I don't know if he's going to be part of that story or not. I could see them using him. Of course, he's a big guy. He's an enforcer. But honestly, I would like to see him take on like somebody else. Like I said, I felt like they were going to use him with that Royce Keys. Since he had kind of
Yeah.
like eliminated him from that Andre the Giant Battle Royale or
Yeah.
over the top,
See,
whatever
I
it is.
haven't got to watch that yet.
Okay. But it came down to them two or whatever,
Okay.
and he ended up, winning. And he's got a
Right.
nice spine buster too. Like he's not Art Anderson or Ron Simmons, but it's still a fucking nice spine buster
And
and
we're
shit.
talking about Royce Keys, right?
Yeah, Royce Keys.
See, man, and that's the thing. I hate when people try to compare Arn Anderson's spine buster to Ron Simmons' spine buster. Because it's a spine buster.
They're
They're both
different
spine
though.
busters, yes. Because Arn picks them up, twists, turns, and slams with his
Yeah,
whole body into it. Man, Ron just picks
would
you up
throw
in
your
the
ass
air
down,
and
pick you
puts
up.
his hand right in your
Yes,
chest and
and
just throws you
yes,
straight
yes,
down,
yes.
drives you
Both
into the
spine busters,
ground.
but totally different spine busters.
Okay, so cool. I'm glad you like that spine buster from Ron Simmons because that's what I gave you as your setup move in friggin' 2K.
I'm
I
okay
made
with that.
I made Uncle Slam.
But don't get it twisted. Art Anderson has the best spine buster out of anybody in fucking wrestling.
And I don't even want to say that out because they're different
Who's
spine
better?
busters. Arn, the only one that I would say could compete would be Ron's, but just because it was so powerful. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Especially when it hit right and everything, and boom, because he started it out kind of doing like what is it? It's called the 110th Street Slam,
Yeah.
or and where you kind of pick them up like that, and then bam,
Mhm.
slam them down and everything. But it's just I think his evolved into that stand up, and once he got it to that stand up,
Yeah.
that is the only spine buster that I've ever seen that could. Arns is the most fluid,
That's
the
what I was
most
going to say. Like his is
pretty
almost like
spine
a work of
buster.
art. It's just like
Yes,
there's no like it's so fluid. It's like he would just take you and just
when you're
like
talking about textbook, you're talking about Arn Anderson.
mhm.
When you're talking about raw power,
No, Ron Simmons. Yeah,
and
no
Impact, it's Ron Simmons all day long, and they're both equal. It's almost like now there's a 1A 1B,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and in no particular order, not ranking anybody's better than the other. But yeah, getting off the Spine Buster because we could go about that all night long. I love Spine Buster. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I don't want to get ahead too much because we
It
get ready
all
to get
ties
into
together.
it. Yeah. Okay. AJ Styles suggests WWE should hold a Hall of Fame every other year instead of annually. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great idea.
Hold
I
off
think
and everything, get a good class together.
I think sometimes less is more, and I think sometimes they put people in because they just need somebody in, and I think it would need more if it was every 2 years. Like I now, of course, some people ain't gonna make it; they might pass away or whatever it is. But to me, I think it would be better to wait 2 years. Like I totally agree with him on that.
I understand it. I don't know how much I agree with it. Every other sport has a Hall of Fame. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
but does every other sport like you retire that year and then a month later you're the Hall of Fame?
Well, that's my point.
Yeah,
There
that's
needs to be as much as everybody, and I think honestly and truthfully, have you watched the Hall of Fame this year yet?
no, I mean, you've talked about it so much. I'm almost like don't want to watch this shit. Like it
Dude, I'm
sounds
so
depressing.
it is. And get the first 5-10 minutes of it. And then turn it off. Unless there's something you really want to see. Because AJ's speech was nice. You know what I'm saying? There was just no emotion out there whatsoever. Like the crowd was not reacting to anything. They were not there. And it was almost like I don't think there's a problem with it being annually. There needs to be a limitation. You have to be retired. I don't think you necessarily have to do like NFL or anything like 5 years or anything like that.
But
I,
at least
I think
see that's
three
what would
years.
work. Like I said, if you do it every other year, then it's like okay, then
Well,
that gives you 2 years of retirement.
well,
What's
three
wrong with
years.
that?
3 years. As a professional wrestler, be 3 years.
I'd be
You gotta
okay with
stay 3 years. You gotta be
but like I
retired.
said, I mean,
Still
I'm okay
keep
with
it
every other.
annually. I could be it every other year, but I don't know. I just think it should be 3 years. Keep it every year, but we also need to like we need to get an actual Hall of Fame somewhere. an actual building.
That would be good.
You know what I'm saying? To me, that would add to the legitimacy.
I
You want to
totally
be a
agree with that.
legitimate Hall of Fame. You want people to take you as a legitimate Hall of Fame. You want people to be excited. I don't see anybody not getting excited about Hall of Famers getting inducted into the NFL, NBA, and all that stuff Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You know, it's still big time controversy. So you telling me that, you know, if you have a legitimate Hall of Fame for the WWE, it's not going to be big time? I think it would, just my opinion. But yeah, tell us what you think. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years.
Now, like when you say, you know, like they should be like retired for say 3 years, does that count the indie scene? Does that count if you go to say a TNA or an AEW? Or
I
like is
think
it
you
just from WWE that you have
I
to be gone?
think see, I don't know. I think that's where stuff has to be worked out. Because there's where it is the WWE's Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? It is the NFL's Hall of Fame. Now, I don't know if after the NFL, you know, I don't know what the contract says. If something's okay, so case in point, you retire from the NFL in 3 years, right? A year after you retire, you get offered $15 million for 1 year to come over and play in the 3-on-3 league.
Shit, I'm there.
Okay. Well, does that, are you a pro player? You're getting paid. But the thing of it is
It depends on the definition of a pro. Like if you're getting
that's
paid,
it. What does that
to
NFL retirement contract say?
yeah. Now,
And
like if you
that's
get paid to play a certain sport, like then technically you are a pro. The difference between a college and
right.
a collegiate and a pro player is a pro player gets money for it,
Well, so
and
does a college player now, though.
well, it's true that is so fucking true. So I mean, you might have to change the definition of that shit now.
Yeah.
You know,
So
so
it's just it's just the minor leagues versus the pros leagues.
yeah.
That's all the it's all NCAA is now. It's the minor
Yeah, it's
leagues.
just a miniature version of the fucking NBA and shit. Like if
Yeah.
you got free agency,
I
uh,
don't think dude, I'm telling you right now, I got a feeling that college is going to end up swallowing the NBA. We don't need to get off on that. We could do. We possibly need to get a sports show going, man.
yep.
Too,
I heard
because
someone was talking to us about, yeah, hey man, that might be another good idea. I mean, we do wrestling, why not do sports too?
that's it.
Trust me, like we don't, man, we gonna have no problem talking about sports the way we talk
No,
about sports. So we
no,
probably have to set a bell just to cut us off, honestly.
right. 400 topics, man. We could talk about one game for hours and
Oh,
stuff and everything.
shit, talk about
All
the
right.
rivalries, you know,
Yes.
Boston
Everything.
and LA.
Yes.
That could go for a
Yes.
fucking month right there.
Right. Shit, years, man. Going back from that's a all time since the league's been going rivalry. All righty. Yeah, so sticking with the Hall of Fame stuff, Bad News Brown's widow asked fans not to be bitter about the WWE Hall of Fame speech denial. She was happy with the way everything went. But in playing devil's advocate, I don't know if you've seen this, but Gunnar Udy, the son of Psycho Sid, said, "Thank you to everyone for all the love and support you've shown our family. It means the world, and I appreciate every single person who had my dad's back. Last night's so-called Hall of Fame induction for my father, Sid Udy, Psycho Sid, Sid Vicious, was straight up a disappointing and disrespectful as hell. I'm glad my dad was big enough to put himself over even in death, because WWE damn sure wouldn't. I didn't see one single ad for him here in Vegas. The Hall of Fame gift shop had zero merch for my dad, not a damn thing. but they were loaded with all the Dennis Rodman crap you could want. I feel like they just swept him under the rug like a footnote, rushed to get him out of the way. He said, maybe if we had waited another 20 years until all of those jealous, insecure ex colleagues were gone, the ones who could never match his athletic ability, his looks, or his unbreakable willpower to tell them no, he would finally gotten the full induction he actually deserved. Still, I'm trying to stay positive for my son's sake. I got to bring him, and he doesn't know. Let's see. He doesn't know they did his grand. Sorry, my eyes are. I got lost there. He doesn't know their grandpa. They did his grandpa dirty. He just got to see his hero honored. That moment with my boy made it worth it, and at least we walked away with the real Hall of Fame ring and adding pictures with it here because there's something solid we can actually hold on to while the rest of this felt like a slap in the face. Rest in power, Dad. The master and the ruler of the world got his flowers. Even if the WWE tried to shortchange, it shortchanged you one last time. They were always jealous. Congratulations to Bad News Brown and Sid Vicious and Demolition, so on and so forth. So I'm not going to read off all the hashtags. What do you think? Does that make you want to go and watch it now?
See, I had heard some of this already and stuff, so I knew about Sid's son being upset, but I didn't know all the details. Like, what you talking about, like they didn't have any merch and how he's pissed off, how, they seemed like they showed more respect to Rodman than they did fucking his dad and shit. So I didn't know the details and stuff. As a son, I mean, he's got the right to be upset. Like he feels like his father was disrespected, and they didn't show proper respect. I mean, I think any son would be the same way. Um, like in his eyes, his dad was his hero, and if you didn't show him the right amount of respect, I mean, I'd be pissed too.
Do you think if they didn't start at like midnight, that they could like do a longer Hall of Fame and actually give everybody's family a chance to speak, even if it's just a couple of minutes to say something?
So, like, did they not let him give a speech? Like I said, I
No,
don't know all the details.
he
Besides,
got no
I'm
speech
just what you told
whatsoever.
me.
Got no
So they
speech.
shortchanged him by not letting him speak. Now that is to me, I think a little disrespectful. Because
Okay,
if you're
but
gonna
see,
give,
there's the flip side of the coin. Bad News Brown's wife, Bad News Brown, didn't get a speech either, and she was okay with it.
well, that depends on the individual and stuff.
Right,
Now, like
right,
if
right.
his wife was okay, maybe she don't like personal speaking. Maybe she's more of a shy, reserved person. Obviously his son was not. His his son was like, hey, I I want to give a speech. Like I want to say something about my dad. Now I don't know if maybe they thought he was going to say something he should have. Obviously they can beep or delay that shit. But I think he's justified. I mean, his feelings are his feelings, and I think he has the right to feel how he feels, especially about his dad, somebody he really loves. I haven't watched the Hall of Fame, so I don't know if it. Obviously I've heard what you said about it, so obviously
Right.
it wasn't good.
I
Especially being
just
late and being kind of sad or
There was
disappointed.
a vibe. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to say it was sad. It was just there was a vibe. Like I said, watch 10 minutes of it. Because if you watch 10 minutes of it, you will pick up that vibe and be like, what? Keita, what are you saying? I think it's hard to say honestly about. Please respond, darling. Thank you. Yeah, like it was just weird. There was like a weird vibe in the building or some, I don't know, man. It was just crazy weird. Let's see. Where are we going with this? Where are we going with this? All righty. Okay. So we'll get into the WrestleMania cards here in a minute, guys, but we're going to get into one specific moment in WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar. That's the reason why I put the empty ring here in the middle. And with headlocks, heels, and havoc over top of it and everything. The empty ring is for Brock Lesnar's retirement out of respect for him. I'm sure everybody, and I mean everybody, let's see. Well, did you know? This is crazy. Brock Lesnar had more matches in 2002 alone than he's had his entire second WWE run combined.
I believe it.
Yeah, but I mean, he learned how to play the game. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I can't hate on him.
I mean, that's what everybody does now. So like, I can't really
Yep.
shit on him for doing the same thing that all the rest of them did. Now,
So,
like, do I like it as a fan? Fuck no. You know, like if I pay to see you and take my time to watch television, I want to see the big stars. It's like going to like an NBA game and the best player is sitting on the bench because they're resting his ass because they want him for the playoffs. No, if I spend my money, I come to see the stars. I want to see the stars.
and see,
But like,
that's the thing, though. I like, but is it like, okay, let me ask you a two-part question. You said you wanted to come see the stars, but is it sometimes okay to not know he's coming so that way it is that surprise at the end of
yeah,
the
yeah. Oh, that's
pay-per-view?
fine. Yeah, it's
Okay,
totally
okay.
fine. Yeah.
So tell me what you, I mean, I guess give me a little synopsis, 3 to 5 minutes, tell me what you think Brock meant to wrestling and what he meant to you, where you put him and everything and all that stuff.
Okay. Let's see. I always liked Brock. I wouldn't say he was one of my favorites, but as far as a heel, like he was devastating. You know what I'm saying? Like a man that big and that size, being able to do some of the things he did. I know he didn't do that front flip that great, but just his athleticism and his power. I think he had a lot of great matches. I think he told a great story in the ring. I think he was a dominant champ. He was very believable. Um, I don't think he has anything left to prove. I mean, not only is he he kicked ass in wrestling, he kicked ass in fucking UFC and shit. So I mean, what else do you need and stuff? I mean, like he was never one of those people that really liked. I think the wrestling lifestyle because he didn't like being on the road. He didn't like all the crowds and shit. He was more of a solitary person and shit. He liked being on his farm. He liked being away from people, just being near his family. Um, so for him to come do what he did, it definitely took him out of his comfort zone, and I think he learned to adapt. I mean, he was blessed to have Paul Heyman right beside him, being his mouthpiece. You couldn't ask for a better person beside you. You know what I'm saying? Besides maybe Bobby Heenan or something like that, as far as to give you knowledge or share wisdom and stuff. So I think he definitely benefited from that. I mean, he's got a Hall of Fame career. You got nothing to complain about.
First
You know what I'm
ballot.
saying? Oh yeah, easily. Like I said,
Okay.
I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't and shit. Like I said, I mean, um,
So you said nothing left to prove.
yeah, I mean, like,
And
what's he gonna win? Like Intercontinental Championship belt or
right,
U.S.
right.
title? Come on now.
So you said nothing left to prove. Do you does that just play into the fact that, and nothing against Ric Flair, because Ric Flair is the anomaly in pro wrestling, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Um, Ric Flair's got a whole lot of title reigns, and Ric Flair's got his title reigns mean something. You know what I'm saying?
uh-huh.
Like it's not like 21 is like, I mean, there's a few of them there at the end in WCW that was kind of like, come on, man, they were cheesy because of the
Yeah,
stupid storylines they put him into. You know what I'm saying? It
yeah,
wasn't nothing his
yeah.
fault or anything like that. But and so I'm not going to discount those or anything like that. They gave them to him. Um, but I mean, for the most part, all his title reigns are legit title reigns. Do you think it matters if you have? We'll go with John Cena. Never seen 17. Do you think it matters that he has 17 and Brock's got, I don't know how many Brock has, so I'm just going to guess like 8 titles reigns. I think it's around there. Do you think Brock's titles, and he is a lesser of a wrestler because of the fact that he has less range, or do you think it just matters the impact of your title reigns?
See, that's kind of hard to say because I think both of them kind of apply when it comes to it. I think who you win against matters just as much as like how long and
No,
how
no,
many.
no. I'm not
Yeah,
saying who
because
you win against. I'm saying like just the impact your title reigns have. You know, whenever Brock Lesnar has that title or is going after that title, somebody somewhere is getting effed up.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
uh,
And the possibility of him taking that title is like 93%
yeah,
every time. So you see what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily talking about who he's going against. I'm just talking about the impact of him and the impact of him having that title
does,
versus
does his
15
less
reigns.
mean more than John Cena's?
Yes. There.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay,
You
that's an
said it
easier way
better.
to put it.
Yes. I couldn't
Uh,
spit it out that way.
Honestly, that's kind of hard to say to me because I need to look at both of their one. I need to see how many titles they've had. Obviously, I know how many John's got. I don't know how many Brock, and I think I have to see because to me, how you get it and how
It's
you carry it
hard, man.
like matters and shit too. Because if like if John Cena won, say 3 or 4 of his championships and beating some bullshit person like Kobe Kingston or fucking a Doink the Clown, and Cena was and Brock was doing the Giant and the Rock or something or Triple H, that's kind of different and shit.
So you don't back Doink like Brett does?
No, 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 no. I'm not a huge fan of his. Um, I liked him though, like that. I mean, he was a good scary clown and shit. Now, like once they started getting all the little mini ones and shit, that was a little too much.
All righty.
Um,
So I think everybody, hold on. I don't want to get too far behind and everything. No offense. But so get moving on with Brock a little bit. So we knew it. We knew he was, well, as far as we knew. And according to this, everybody heard a lot of talk about retirement match being at SummerSlam. This is Vince Russo talking, by the way. That's what everybody was talking about. A lot of people were talking about Gunther, and I don't know, man. Maybe Brock was well aware of that, and Brock did not like those plans. So Brock said, you know what? F it. I'm going to screw everybody. I'm going to do things my way, possibly. Maybe Brock didn't like SummerSlam plans, and he thought putting Obafemi over might be the way to go. I am honestly and truthfully, I'm buying that 100%.
what about the Gunther Brock thing?
I think Brock went into business himself. I don't think he went into business himself. I think the plan was for him to fight Obafemi,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And I think that the next plan was for maybe him to see. I was thinking again, I did this in the prediction show, so I'll go through it quick. Excuse me. Um, I was thinking that Oba wins WrestleMania next pay per view. Brock wins to get his win back, and then they go the rubber match at SummerSlam, Brock's house. Everybody's hyped. Oh, Brock's gonna win. Boom, Brock loses, passes the torch. I thought it was gonna fall out that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think maybe that's what I thought. I think WWE was maybe seeing Brock losing to Oba, maybe doing another match where he loses to Oba, and then Gunther coming in and saying, I'm going to take your career. You just suck now. And I'm a career killer, so here I am. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he liked that. I think he would. I
I don't
honestly,
like it.
I don't either. If it was something like that, I don't like Gunther. Period. However, they were going to get to Gunther at SummerSlam, I don't like it. Period. I loved Obafemi. The fact that if Brock pulled an audible and told Oba end it now so that I can pull this stuff off and retire, then kudos to him. I didn't need SummerSlam. That was a WrestleMania moment I'll never forget. Out of the whole WrestleMania weekend, that's the one thing I that stands out to me. Is it not you?
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing that everybody's been talking about.
Yeah. Who we got over here on Twitch talking to us? I don't know who it is. It looks like an ad or something like that. So we ain't gonna click on that. We don't do that. Not around here.
But see, like the whole, like I said, I don't think the whole Gunther Brock thing would have been believable anyway. You know, like say we had, Oba and Brock, let's say they do have the 3 matches and, eventually Oba beats Brock, puts them out, and then what's the name comes in, Gunther comes in and it's like, oh, I want that. Man, to me that's just not believable because I don't see one Gunther choking out fucking Brock because his neck is big as a fucking tree trunk. Two, it's just like even an old Brock is fucking strong as shit compared to Gunther. And you were talking about a guy that was a NCAA championship wrestler. I mean, Gunther's good, but
if Gunther chokes out Brock, Gunther needs to leave WWE and go start doing UFC because he is a submission master.
Yeah, I just don't think it's believable. Like I don't see.
And we're supposed to buy that 2 years removed from him tapping out to Jey Uso at WrestleMania. Yeah,
no.
See, I'm not. No, I believe Obafemi. Obafemi is a huge dude. He's a monster. He can take over as Brock's guy.
Yeah, now that's believable.
I've never heard him, so I don't know how good he is on the mic. Even if you have to do it and put Paul with him, who cares? Do it. Sure. You know what I'm saying? That man, dude, I watched that man pick up friggin' Brock Lesnar and sling him around like a rag doll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are we not doing it? Let's do that. So one more little thing about Brock. Okay, so there is talk that Brock could be, there's rumors. I don't know how true this is, but Brock Lesnar could face legal issues after WWE's controversial retirement. As per reports, WWE is likely to file a lawsuit against Brock Lesnar after his unscripted exit. Can't read. Brock Lesnar confirmed his retirement from wrestling at WrestleMania 42 Las Vegas. Brock was allegedly frustrated, quote unquote, with Triple H plotting his retirement match versus Gunther. Reports suggest WWE is seeking $1 million penalty from Brock, citing breach of contract. Brock Lesnar has issued a clear no to TKO group that holding a request of retirement U-turn. I don't know what that means. Triple H is expecting to address the Brock Lesnar versus WWE rift in the next week on next week's Raw segment. See, that's the only thing that makes me think that could be like a possible work is why would we address it on Raw segment unless you're just going to say
if
something.
It's really behind the scenes shit, then you wouldn't be like, oh, we're going to discuss this and shit.
But who knows? You know what I'm saying? It could be a thing to make him look bad, make him try to feel guilty. I don't know. It's crazy stuff. Okay, man. So getting on with this last little bit of stuff I've got. So have you had the chance to watch the Netflix documentary about the Hulkster?
No, I have not yet.
Oh my gosh, brother. You've got to watch it and everything. Wonderful. It was good. Learned a lot of things that I didn't know about Hulk. Now I hate to say this, and I really, really, really do hate to say this. I hope Netflix vetted this really good because, you got to watch. You got to wonder about what Hulkster says sometimes. I mean, if it's true and stuff like that. And it's no
Well, he did
offense to
lie a
Hulk.
lot. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, we all know that.
I hope I hope for this that he really didn't lie a lot and everything and a lot of stuff. Some of it seemed like it hit a nerve, especially when he was talking about his brother. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to give it up and everything. Really good though. It was 4 parts, about an hour long a piece, and they all kind of covered like the 4 different parts of his career and everything. Showed a lot of early footage and stuff and everything. Um, but one thing it does dig into, and I think this will make you want to go dig into it. So, and I won't like tell you too much about it. So 2 things actually. So Hulk Hogan in the documentary said he should have walked away in 1990, but definitely after WrestleMania 18. He should have never wrestled again after that. Let you look at that again and everything. He did say that in the documentary, and one of the reasons he said that was because of the leg drop. He said he started using the leg drop in Japan, stupidest mistake he ever made. He said, I was always known as Terry Boulder, Hulk Hogan, all this other stuff. And I always said I had the largest arms in the world, the 24-inch pythons. He said, why I wasn't doing something like a sleeper hold made no sense. He said, I went out there and started jumping up in the air and throwing. He said it was just all the years of jumping up and compressing. He said, and if you think about it, really, Uncle Slam, and really go back in your mind's eye, and plus, even footage and everything, and look, Hogan really jumped pretty high
Oh yeah.
for that leg drop.
Mm-hmm.
And all the years of doing that, compressing his spine and stuff,
Because
like
he had
he
to
said.
sell it and shit. That's what sold it because it was
Yes.
so high, it made such a sound and shit.
So I would, that's challenge one of why I would tell you to go watch it, because when you see the x-ray of his back, so Netflix, send us a check, because I'm going to plug in your show there, brother. All you little Netflix maniacs. Let me tell you something, brother. And honestly and truthfully, there's something in it that it's going to surprise you with Jesse the Body. I will say that that's another little tidbit about it too. There's some fun there. Middle stuff. You just got to watch it, man. I was surprised. You know what I'm saying? It was really good. Watch it, and we'll come back and talk about it, man. Even if we got to do an episode on it, it's worth the watch.
Okay.
And I know you're not a fan of him and everything. Watch the one about Shawn Michaels on Peacock.
I actually planned on watching that anyway. Like I said, I mean, just because I'm not a huge fan, don't mean like I don't watch wrestling
Yep.
related shit when it comes to
Right.
like Shawn Michaels still interesting. Like I said, he might not be my favorite wrestler, but he's still interesting and
Yep.
shit. You know
Oh,
what
I
I'm
own that. What is it? The Bret Hart Wrestling with Shadows.
saying?
I thought, it was good. He wasn't my favorite, but
Yeah.
it was an interesting thing. It was cool. It was different. It was behind the scenes and stuff.
That's like I've said before, I might not like Shawn Michaels, Tom Brady, and some of the other people you do, but I do respect what they do. I'm
Right.
just not a fan of them because of my
Exactly.
fandom to other places and other teams and other people.
Right. I mean, like they said on other shows, and it's okay to be wrong, but
I think I said that first, honestly.
fans, we still love Uncle Slam anyway, right? Come on, look, we got 4 people out there. Clap if you still love Uncle Slam. Tell him it's okay to be wrong. All right. So this is what's going to shock you, man. And I'm just honestly, and again, this is one reason why I say I hope what he said is true, but I hope what he said wasn't true as well when you hear this. Sorry, let me get a drink. My mouth was a little dry.
You're fine.
So Hulk Hogan in his TNA days and his fentanyl regime. Now, I remember exactly what he said. He said 280 milligram pills in the morning. So 160 milligrams of fentanyl in the morning. He would put 300 milligram patches on the inside of his knees and his legs. And then he would get 1,500 milligram lollipops.
How was he feeling anything?
And that was his fentanyl regimen.
Yeah, he definitely should have stopped a lot fucking sooner. But I can understand being in that type of pain. You talking about back pain?
Oh,
That
dude,
shit's the
it goes
shit's the
even
worst.
worse. He was an android.
What?
Hulk was an android.
What do you mean with an android?
Okay, do you want me to just go ahead and tell you? And it won't be too much of a shock when
All right, yeah.
when you hear it in the thing, it's not a big shock when you see
All right, go ahead.
So he had like this little device. It was like a box put in his lower back that like shocks his back and his spine so that like he feels the shock instead of the pain. Yeah, dude. That's how jacked up his back was, man.
What? Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. So he had something implanted that would shock his back? Like, was it supposed to stop the spasms? Was it just
I guess. I
like,
don't know. It was supposed to do something where it would like when the pain would start to set in because the pain was so extreme that it would shock him so that he would feel the pain of the shock instead of the pain of what he was feeling. Because the pain of the shock was less.
Damn.
That's like
I ain't
crazy.
never heard that shit before, but
I don't I don't be in that shape, man. If that's true, I won't be in that shape.
Taking 280s, then fucking putting patches on your fucking knees.
Okay,
and then,
I looked this up. I am not even gonna lie. I don't have the exact number. I looked it up at work. If that is like his 1 week regimen of fentanyl, that's over 9,700 milligrams of fentanyl a week. As a matter of fact, I'm going to add this shit up. I'm not even gonna lie.
all right.
I want to make sure about that. Dang it! I think
I'm still over here just blown away. Like, I feel like he would OD off of that much shit. Like, unless you
I don't know how he did.
Because fentanyl is like 10 times stronger than morphine.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. He's the Ric Flair. So what do you say? 6 times 1,500 milligrams, right? Okay, so that equals the 9,000. That's 9,000 alone. The lollipops alone.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
and the patches on the knee.
We're 300, right?
I think so.
Okay, so that's 600 plus 600 equals. All right, that's 9,600. And then 280 milligrams in the morning. So that's 160. Let's make sure we do this right. Plus 160 equals 9,760 milligrams of fentanyl somehow a week, something like that. I don't know exactly.
Be his daily regimen?
I don't know that was his daily. It may have been his weekly.
I just don't understand how he felt shit after that.
And they tell us not to pick up a penny that's got a little bit on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
1 or 2 of those would be enough. Like, be a punch and a fucking sucker, not.
Hold on. I'm I'm gonna Google this as best I can, everybody. So work with me.
Hmm.
If I need to, I'll use Chat GPT if I need to. So was Hulk Hogan's fent, fentanyl regimen. It says was Hulk Hogan's fentanyl regimen good or bad? Was that good or was that bad? I think it was probably pretty bad. Regimen. Um, weekly or daily. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Always glad to help a friend. Okay, Hulk Hogan's fentanyl regimen was. Oh, well, okay, I understand that, but how much was he taking daily? Let's see. You know what? It's just easier to talk to him. Can't talk to him. We can't do that. I had to turn my phone off so I could have the internet talk to you people. Love y'all. Huh. Let's see. What was Hulk Hogan's daily fentanyl use?
It said doctors said in 2009 he was taking more fentanyl than they had ever seen a human consume.
Good Lord.
Said he was using high doses of pills, patches, and lollipops to manage the pain. Saying one pharmacist warned the amount to be deadly.
I'm just wondering how much he was taking daily. Because, see, it's giving me the same thing right here, too, but it's not telling me if it's daily or. Excuse me. But even at
I didn't
that,
know he had multiple back surgeries either. That was
yeah.
probably
Oh, he was all jacked up, man.
that would explain a lot right there. I'm sure.
Yeah. But see, I mean, okay, the fact of whether or not this is daily, weekly, hourly, whatever, is not the fact. It's alarming any way you put it. You know what I'm saying? Just plain and simple. So it's like, wow. Okay, so yeah, man, guys, always, I don't know how many people out there, addiction and stuff has affected people. I know it's getting off subject, but that's some bad stuff right there. And I'm not saying he didn't have to do it and everything. I don't know. But man, if you're addicted to stuff, man, do what you can to try to get off of it. It just ain't funny. Addiction affects too many people. It's just horrible. And if you can reach out, if you can't, hey, message us. We'll help you get somewhere if we can. I'll make phone calls or whatever I can do and everything. I'm sure I'm gonna slam and help out anybody
I'll,
help out.
I'll play too many friends for this shit. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'll do whatever I can to try to help somebody.
that's it. We just But yeah, I mean, it's terrible, So yeah, I don't know, I know everybody's had probably somebody that's addiction is affected in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, if we can do anything, please reach out. But anyways, let's try to move on to some happier times and stuff and everything. Last little bit I got and everything is what we've been trying to hit on for a while. So I hit on it. We hit it on it. We hit on it with Ace. So Tony Khan, or Nick Khan, not Tony Khan. Nick Khan came out and said some of the complaints in WWE's personalized fan service are, I don't like the match. You guys are pieces of crap. And I go, okay, I got it. Some are, hey, we had an obstructed view. Okay, We'll have you come to our next show. People are allowed to complain, but we don't adjust our business based on complaints. We adjust based on ratings, revenue, and relevance. So we touched on it with Ace Carmichael. I mean, is that me or is that you or is that him just saying we don't give a shit what fans want? We don't care about the fans. And we are going to just basically do what we got to do, whatever brings money. You like it, don't like it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
you, but
basically what they're saying. They're basically just said, look, as a business, we don't care about our consumers' needs, wants, and what they care about. We care about our bottom line, our revenue. If you have a problem with it, tough kitty said the kitty. That's your problem, not ours. So we're not changing. So either you change or you're screwed.
I
That's,
agree.
I mean, in the nicest possible way. And it really wasn't that nice. He basically said, "I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck." That's exactly what he said. I don't care about what the fans think. I don't care what they want. I don't care.
We do not care, period.
Yeah, like we
Big,
do not
big
care.
period right at the end.
And I think that's gonna come back and bite them in the fucking ass and shit. Like I said, you can only shit on your fans so much. And once people start leaving, they're not coming back. Once people start going to TNA, they're not coming back. Once they go to AEW, they're not coming back.
Nope.
And and it's not gonna be just fans, like it's gonna be a generation of fans because they're gonna push off this new generation of fans and shit because their parents aren't going to be able to take them to see wrestling. And if they do, it's going to be some bullshit that they've seen a million times. And they're not going to be able to keep up with all the matches because you got to have 5 channels or all these different subscriptions just to watch this shit. They're going to lose a whole fucking generation. And they're
Okay.
talking about it's going to cost them money, but they're not
Hold
going to
that
give a shit.
hold that thought real quick. Hold that thought real quick because I got something to pull up here for you. So, TKO president admits WWE multi-platform strategy could frustrate fans. So you're touching on it. You think it could frustrate
It
fans?
does.
Or
Ain't no
thank
could.
you.
It does. What
Thank
the
you.
fuck are you talking about? We had the WWE network. $10 a month, everything you could want in fucking wrestling. And they broke it up to make fucking more money. Plain and simple. That's exactly what the fuck it is.
Yep, that's
Like,
exactly what it is.
man, don't piss on my head and call it rain and shit. I know what the fuck it is. Like, it's a money grab. Plain and
Shit
simple.
on a plate and tell me I'm eating a T-bone.
Yeah, exactly. Because and it's only in America. Like they don't do that same shit when it comes to out of the United States. When you step into Canada, Germany, France, England, everything's on fucking Netflix. You're not paying extra. You don't have to look 5 different spots to hit one fucking spot. Now, why is that? Because they know Americans will pay more because we're their biggest consumers. Now, once people stop saying or start saying, "Fuck you," I'm not paying for this shit. Ratings drop, merchandising, attendance drop, then they'll start giving a shit. But by then, they're going to already got their money back in their investment, and like we said, they're going to end up selling WWE off, probably for a loss to Vince and some Saudis or some hedge fund, and then God knows what's going to happen. Now, if Vince gets it back, I think it'll go back to being half decent because he cares about what fans want.
If
But
Vince
if
gets
some
back, it'll go privately owned again.
Yeah. But if some other corporate entity gets it or whatever, it's going to be dog shit. Like I said, what we're seeing right now is the same shit that happened with WCW.
Dude, you
Corporate
just
came
read
in,
my mind. You just read my mind. I was sitting here
corporate
thinking
came
that
in
exact thing.
and did what? Ratings jumped for a little bit, and then they took creative control, and they didn't listen to the people that knew what the fuck to do. They did what they thought because, oh, I know better. Even though you don't know shit about wrestling, you're talking about people that have lived and breathed wrestling their whole fucking life.
And now
People like
that you're
Paul
going
Heyman
down
and
that
Vince McMahon,
avenue,
but you think some fucker in a suit with the NBA knows more than these people do? Get the fuck out of here! Like I'm not saying they're not smart people, but when it comes to fucking wrestling's not like every other fucking business. It is a business, but it's not like every other business. It's not like fucking boxing. It's not like fucking UFC. It's different.
but now that you went
So
down
you have
that
to treat it
avenue,
as such.
now that you went down that avenue, let me bring this up. So, a major statement from Mark Shapiro is now making waves across the wrestling world. He confirmed that TKO Group Holdings has complete control, taking full responsibility for the direction of the product. This adds a new layer to the ongoing discussion around creative decisions, especially after the reaction to WrestleMania. Quote,
That makes
first of
sense.
all, TKO has complete control. So
It
we are
makes sense why
responsible.
we're getting the same bullshit.
So I'm glad you said what my sentiments were, that this is
This
this
is
is what's
WCW
going to
2.0.
cause it. Yes, because this is what's, and here's the funny thing, man. Vince is going to be there to catch it both times.
Exactly. He's gonna buy the scraps up just like he did last time.
I know it. He's going to buy it all back up. It's stupid, man. I'm like, but you know what? Honestly and truthfully, I think that Vince did this on purpose. I think Vince got into the fact that it was corporate structure or publicly traded, and ended up not liking it.
Yeah, like I don't think it was the public as much as it's when he basically sold his share to TKO, and he wasn't in charge anymore. Like he didn't have the
Well, no,
final
no, no,
say.
no, 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 no. I'm just saying. No, see, I don't even think he liked it whenever it was publicly
You don't
traded,
think
because,
so?
no, because I think he liked the money, and
Oh, well, of course.
I think that was all cool and good and everything. And as a smart businessman, you take the money, but I don't think he liked the fact that the corporate structure like that, because he really wasn't completely in control. Because
Well, yeah. I
if
mean,
he
that
screwed
I
up,
can
they
agree
could
with.
always take.
Yeah, because
So with
Vince has always
this,
been the man to
yes,
have the final say. So I definitely agree with
with
with what you
this,
said.
he can take it all back
Yeah,
and make it private again.
but is he gonna be able to do what he wants? Because if he's sharing it with the Saudis obviously have certain censorship, certain morality things that they're not going to allow with certain businesses that they own. Are they going to give him complete freedom? Now,
He
obviously,
will. I think he's got enough money to where, see, and that's the thing. If they tank this enough, Vince knows, okay, man, I watched them screw up and tank friggin' WCW enough to where he bought, I didn't realize this, he bought WCW for like $2.73 million. Everything. Bought everything
that was cheap.
except for the Time Warner stuff.
Yeah.
So he knows if he plays the long game and waits, ain't nobody gonna be jumping on no big bandwagon to buy a company that's tanking. And so at the end of the day, boom, you tell me he don't let it tank enough. You tell me Vince don't buy WWE back. Say WWE loses its TV deal because it tanks enough.
Mm-hmm.
Loses its TV deal everywhere. You tell me Vince don't buy it back. We don't have Attitude Era 2.0, and he gets his deal right back with USA.
You think he's
And
going
we're,
to keep it PG or PG-13? That, like you said,
I
that's
think he could. I don't know if he'll go full Attitude Era again, but I could see him keeping it like, what is it? Ruthless Aggression.
okay.
I could see it something like that. Let's see what Keita's got to say here. She said, well, "You're not alone." Yes, ma'am. She said, "You're not alone." You ain't right, Keita. Thank you for being here as always. We love you to death. See, we always got to shout out Keita because she's the only one who gets in here and
Yeah,
talks
she's our
to
number
us.
one fan.
Yes, get in here, everybody. Challenge her. Challenge her for fandom. No, let's see. So, yeah, that's the thing, man. TKO's. It's just. I think it's eventually he's got to buy it. Somebody's got to buy it, but like you said, it cannot be a corporate entity. If it's a corporate entity, it's just not going to do nothing.
No.
It's not going to work. Vince, I think, with you know the backing of somebody like the Saudis or something like that is probably it's probably the best bet there is, to be honest. I don't see it. I just don't see it working any other way, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, before we get out, before we get out of here, last two things I got. We got to talk about WrestleMania. If you still want to talk about the rest of WrestleMania, I wasn't all that impressed. Is there anything you really want to highlight about WrestleMania? I think everybody knows how bad it was.
Let me try. I'm gonna try to find the good parts first, and before I fucking tear it down. Hold on.
It's hard, man. That's the thing, man. It's like there was again. I'm gonna stand by that. While you're thinking about that, I'm gonna go on a little, whatever here, editorial, whatever. The build up, man. The build up was terrible. There was no road to WrestleMania. It was the I don't know, man. It felt like I was on vacation to WrestleMania in an RV, and that was the road to it because it was supposed to sleep the whole damn time or so. I don't know. It just made no sense.
All right, okay. I'll start with the good first. I liked the Intercontinental match. I thought that was pretty decent.
Intercontinental match. Which one was that?
That was like ladder match with Penta.
Oh,
and,
okay,
like,
okay.
and, like 3 or 4 other people.
Touche, yes.
Yeah.
That was a good.
I liked it. I was happy and sad about the Brock and Finn match, even though I called that. I mean, like I knew it was going to be a squash match anyway, but I did not expect Brock to retire, so that was definitely a big surprise. I liked that Paige came back. I didn't like that they won the belt. I wasn't too crazy about that, but I'm not that upset about the shit when it comes to that. Let's see, night 2. I think, honestly, that's probably the good. The bad's a little bit easier. I didn't want to see Eye Speed. I didn't need that shit. Didn't need Pat McAfee. I was kind of glad he got RKO'd. I was kind of pissed about what we talked about before about the short, 4-hour show and only 53 minutes of matches.
Right.
That was some bullshit.
Okay, and not only that, to circle back around to where we started, you just said RKO to Pat McAfee. Ted DiBiase Jr. is in the friggin' building.
Mm-hmm.
We knew that Pat McAfee shit wasn't working. Why didn't we just audible right then and there and say, "Hey, Ted, man, here's a check, $100,000. Go run down there and run in."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Make this something interesting that we can build off of tomorrow or whatever on Smack or on Raw. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it made no sense why they did. Vince, I feel like would have audibled right there.
Yeah. Let's see. CM Punk.
Well, Vince wouldn't have fucked up that bad anyway.
No, hell no. CM Punk Roman Reigns match. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't for main event. Like I wanted more. You know what I'm saying? Like you expect a little bit more from the main event. I thought Gunther Seth Rollins match was fucking stupid. I still don't understand why they didn't put them together.
I don't either.
I don't know why you don't have all your championships on display at WrestleMania. I mean, you left out a lot of people that were on WrestleMania last year that wasn't on this year. Didn't understand that part. Let's see what else I did not care for. Women's championship match. I could have went either way on those. Becky Lynch. I was okay with that just because the whole pace. And of course, I've said it before. I'm not big on old people coming back and taking belts and shit. If I had to give it a grade, I'd probably say a C.
An overall grade?
Overall grade, it would be a C. Or if we're gonna do our headlocks, it would be.
Out of 5 headlocks, what do you give the overall WrestleMania? 5 would be the best.
I'd be like 2 head. 2 headlocks, 2.5 headlocks, something like that.
See, it's me. I just, there were a few moments I liked. Like I said, the only real moment, WrestleMania moment that stood out to me that will always stand out from this one is Brock.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just,
I
it
think he
was,
stole the show, honestly,
yes,
because as much as everybody talks about CM Punk and Roman Reigns matches, more people are talking about Brock retiring, in my opinion,
yeah.
than they are about the belt changing hands and shit, or not changing hands.
And the thing of it is like, it wasn't even just like, I like the fact that he gave Oba his, recognition of I passed the torch to you. And then he gave him his moment.
Mm-hmm.
Then he retired.
Yeah.
And had his little moment. And Oba gave him the respect of, let me step out of the way. Thank you for what you did. You've let me celebrate. Boom, I'm here, guys.
Did you see him tip his hat to him? Like when he was
Yes.
walking up the ramp, he kind of
Yes.
took off his, like a symbolic hat, tipped his hat
Yep.
to him, like showing respect. So definitely like that shit.
Yes. I think that was, like I said, if I had to pick anything, the only other thing that I thought was really like, wow, was like, did you see old Cody Rhodes' Shiner?
Yes. Oh man, man, I was reading about that, and they were talking about at first they thought he might lose the eye or some shit. And the doctor was like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
Didn't it
we're
come
not
from
going to
the
lose
punt
it.
kick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that from the punt kick?
I think so.
Did he really kick his ass?
I think so.
God damn.
Mentor.
I know, like I said, I saw him on Raw, and I was like, damn, he looked like he got his ass beat.
It's crazy. Well, Uncle Slam, other than these last couple of things, you got anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, not really.
And guys, we need a couple comments. Nobody in the comments, real quick before we get off here. Keita, since you're the main person in the comments, we need your opinion. Uncle Slam, he needs to keep he needs to get him a smoker's jacket, don't he? Little pipe. Put him a little pipe in his mouth, get a little smoker's jacket. That way he can be a true Uncle Slam,
Get a gold chain so y'all can see it.
There you go. There you go, man. Hey, play into it. Everybody's favorite uncle. But yeah, so we got some good news to report. We reported it on our last show with All In Ace Carmichael. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. We were live at 8 with him. Great guy. Cannot wait to have him back. He is going to try to join us for some of our Four Horsemen podcasts, where we are deciding the world heavyweight champion, greatest world heavyweight champion of all time. And that's the thing I was telling Uncle Slam earlier, is like, I really like that idea, because we've got a lot of guys who watched a lot of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? We got some pretty good intelligence about it and stuff and everything, but ain't one of us ever took a clothesline or a flat back bump or anything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think I'm probably ahead of Uncle Slam, and the only thing I've done is step foot in a ring.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever stepped into a ring, Uncle
I ain't
Slam.
even done that. So,
we'll see if
you still got one on me.
If you get to EWA early or stay late enough one time and you ask Adrian, you can tie me, brother. You can. That was a challenge. No
challenge,
but
challenge accepted.
Yes. Well, as far as EWA goes, I'm very happy to hear this, because I love seeing the fact that they are succeeding. EWA is doing its own little brand split, from what I can tell. I haven't really confirmed this through anything, but it's what it's looking like and everything. So in Danville, they are going to have Ignition, which is going to be kind of like the Red brand. May 9th, 2026, 7 p.m., Jenny Rogers Elementary Community Center, as always. That is actually coming up here in a couple weeks.
What day is
Yeah,
that?
May 9th.
Okay.
Let's see. That is, let's see, it's not this. But yeah, that's 2 weeks, I believe, from this Friday, is it? Nope, it's a Saturday. Okay. And then, but yeah, and then they're doing their blue brand, which is Pulse. And I don't know if I said it, but the red brand is called Ignition. And their blue brand is going to be Pulse. And that's going to be at the Telford YMCA in Richmond, Kentucky on May 16th, 2026. It doesn't say a bell time or anything like that. So go online and check it out, ewa.com. Check out their Facebook, everything. They're a wonderful company. Love watching them. And this is kind of really awesome because it makes it to where, yeah, we got like different stuff to report on now. You know what I mean? It's like
Oh yeah.
it's really pretty cool, man. It really is. See, you report on three, I report on three. Now we're gonna have to add a fourth to each of them, man.
Oh shit.
We're gonna have to each keep up with Ignition, each keep up with Pulse and everything. But yeah, man, y'all go check them out. They are awesome. Ignition in Danville, Pulse in Richmond. They are awesome. It's an awesome company. Check them out. Give them love. Uncle Slam, you got anything else, brother?
No, sir. I'm tapped out, man. We've been running late tonight. Shit.
I
There's a lot
know
to
it,
talk
man.
about.
I know it. I'm telling you, man. Like this is these crazy
But
ass
it was
people.
WrestleMania, so I mean it's kinda to be expected, you know what I'm saying? That's the biggest event of the year as far as wrestling, so
I agree. Yeah, man. I don't have anything else, and until next weekend, if he's tapped out, the referees hit that 3 count. So we are going. And unlike the WWE and other wrestling promotions now, even if he's tapped out, the arm's got to drop 3 times.
yes, finally, somebody else agree with me.
The arms got
They need to
one
bring
thing
that
we
back.
agree on. Yes, man. Where is that? Builds the drop. Come on, man. Give me the, everybody
Yeah,
could hook up at that point. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? You can all, some people's was weak, some people's was good. But at the end of the day, you could still, everybody could do it. But yeah, referees hit that 3 count, arms hit the 3 count. We are out of here. Ring that damn bell. We will see y'all next week. Here's her.